and the advisor will be left to deliberate on the quality and the status of your thesis. So whenever you're ready, you're welcome to explain to us your thesis.
Okay, I will begin. To the members of the panel, Father Lito Ancla, Sim F. our Dean, Father Archie Domingo, OHM, Professor Joseph Guillermo, and Reverend James Philip Monserrate, OHF, and also to my formator and members of our community, admins, faculty members, and everyone present here today. Good afternoon. I am Jared A. Matero, honored to present my undergraduate thesis entitled Jean Paul Sartre, Self-Understanding Through Freedom. So, next. So, today presentation, this will follow this trajectory. We establish the rationale and the problems this study addresses, define out conceptual framework, and move through the Sartrean landscape from his existential foundation to the culminating goal of authentic self-understanding. So, before I begin, I would like to start in the quotation of Jean-Paul Sartre. He said that man is condemned to be free because once thrown into the world, he is responsible for everything he does. It is up to you to give life a meaning. This quote by Jean-Paul Sartre highlights the idea that freedom is both a burden and an opportunity. Once we are born into the world, we are free to make choices. But with this freedom comes the responsibility. For our uh, for our actions, we must create our own meaning and purpose in life as no external force can define it for us. So in today's digital world, information spreads very quickly, especially through social media. However, along with useful information, misinformation also spreads rapidly. Many people share or believe certain ideas not because they are true, but because they come from groups, influencers, or political figures they already support. Because of this, individuals sometimes stop questioning what is true. Instead of uh, thinking critically, they simply follow what their group believes. The situation reflects what the philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre calls bad faith. For Sartre, being human means having the freedom to think, choose, and understand the world for ourselves. However, freedom can be uncomfortable because it requires responsibility and the courage to make our own judgment. Because of this difficult because of this difficulty, some people avoid using their freedom and instead allow others to decide for them. In the digital age, this can happen when individuals follow online communities or political groups without questioning the ideas they promote. When this happens, people may lose their sense of authenticity and begin living according to the expectation of others rather than own understanding. Sartre reminds us that human beings are responsible for their choices. He famously states that man is condemned to be free, meaning that once we exist, we cannot escape the responsibility of deciding how we live. Through this perspective, Sartre encouraged individuals to reflect on their choices and take responsibility for form our own identity. Therefore, this study aims to explore Sartre's concept of freedom and examine how it helps individuals develop a deeper understanding of themselves. For statement of the problem, this study is guided by three central questions. First, what is Sartre's concept of freedom? Second, how does this freedom influence our ability to achieve authentic self-understanding? And finally, how does Sartre's idea of bad faith affect an individual's understanding of themselves and their exercise of freedom? For the thesis statement, in this study, the researcher explores the philosophy of Jean-Paul Sartre, particularly his idea of freedom and understanding one's individuality. Sartre explains that human beings are free, but this freedom is often challenged by what he calls bad faith, where people deny their responsibility and avoid making authentic choices. The study emphasized that true self-awareness comes when individuals recognize their freedom, accept their limitation or toxicity, and take responsibility for their actions. In this manner, authenticity develops when a person actively exercises their freedom and becomes accountable for who they choose to be. And for the significance of the study, this study is also significant as the researcher because it helped me better to understand myself in the idea of freedom and social, communal, and religious life. Through studying philosophy of Jean-Paul Sartre, I was able to deepen my knowledge of modern philosophy and reflect on how freedom influences my own decision and responsibilities. Second, this study contributes to philosophy by showing how the concept of freedom and Jean-Paul Sartre encourage critical thinking and helps individuals better understand themselves through their choices and responsibilities. And third, Saint Anthony and Alagad ni Maria. This study significance to Saint Anthony Mary Claret College and the Alagad ni Maria Seminary because it emphasized the importance of understanding and exercising freedom and everyday life. Through the philosophy of Jean Paul Sartre, this research encouraged students and seminarians to reflect on their choices and take responsibility for their actions. Next, finally, the significance of this study is that it may help future researchers. We want to further explore the idea of freedom in the philosophy of Jean-Paul Sartre. This study also encouraged individuals to reflect on their own beliefs and how these beliefs relate to the expectation of society or institutions. By looking at Sartre's concept of freedom, the study shows that people can still make their own choices while living within a community that has its own rules and shared values. For methodology, this study explores the concept of freedom according to Jean-Paul Sartre to gain a deeper understanding of his philosophy. The researcher examined various books, scholarly articles, and academic journals since printed materials specifically addressing this topic are limited. Both primary and secondary sources were carefully reviewed and analyzed. The study focuses on key concepts such as existential choice, responsibility, and bad faith, and how these ideas help explain self-understanding. Finally, AI tools such as ChatGPT, Killbot, and Gemini were used only to check grammar and improve the clarity of the writing. And for the definition of terms, first, freedom is the ability of a person to think and act without being completely controlled by external forces. For Sartre, human beings are fundamentally free to choose their own path. Second, bad faith refers to the situation when a person avoids responsibility or fails to fulfill an obligation without a valid reason. In Sartre philosophy, it also means denying our own freedom and pretending that we have no choice. In short, we are lying to oneself and by denying practicity. Because we are free, we are also responsibility. This means that we are accountable for the choice we make in the actions we take. And authenticity means living in a way that honestly recognize our freedom and accept responsibility for our choices. For the conceptual framework, as you can see, the researcher will start from Sartre. His concept of freedom is connected to consciousness and responsibility, which will lead to self-understanding. However, before reaching self-understanding, there is something you have to overcome, and that is bad faith. Once you overcome it in your consciousness and responsibility, you will attain self-understanding, which then will lead to authenticity or authentic life. And the chapter 2, this chapter discusses the background and philosophical influence of Jean-Paul Sartre. Sartre was a French philosopher, novelist, and political activist. He was born in 1905 and died in 1980 in Paris, France. After the early death of his father, he developed a strong sense of independence of self-awareness. He later studied at the École Normale Supérieure, where he met Simone de Beauvoir. He became his lifelong intellectual partner. Sartre philosophy was influenced by thinkers such as Soren Kierkegaard, Martin Heidegger, and Edmund Husserl. These philosophers helped to form his understanding of human existence, freedom, and consciousness. Sartre developed these ideas further in his major works such as Nausea, Being in Nothingness, and Existentialism is a Humanism. One of Sartre's most important ideas is that existence precedes essence. This means that human beings are not born with a fixed purpose. Rather, individuals create their own identity through their choices and actions. Sartre also believed that freedom is an unavoidable part of human life. His experiences during World War II strengthened his belief that human beings must take responsibility for their actions. According to Sartre, because we are free, we cannot blame fate or destiny for the decision we make. Instead, we must accept responsibility for shaping our lives. For the chapter 3, this chapter explains Sartre's ideas about freedom, bad faith, and human existence. One of the central concepts in Sartre's philosophy is bad faith. Bad faith happens when a person lies to themselves by denying their freedom and responsibility, rather accepting their ability to choose. Individuals sometimes pretend that they have no control over their situation. Sartre also explains two ways of existence, being in itself and being for itself. Being in itself refers to objects such as rocks, trees, or tables. These things simply exist and cannot change themselves. In contrast, being for itself refers to human beings who have consciousness and the ability to think, reflect, and make choices. Because humans are conscious, they are always in the process of shaping who they become. Another important concept discussed in this chapter is anguish. Anguish is the feeling people experience when they realize the weight of their freedom and responsibility. According to Sartre, this feeling shows that our choices truly matter. However, some people try to escape this responsibility by living in bad faith. Sartre also explains the idea that existence precedes essence, meaning that human beings first exist before defining themselves. Because of this, people must create their own meaning in life through their decisions. Freedom and responsibility therefore go together. To live authentically, individuals must accept their freedom and take responsibility for their actions rather than hiding behind excuses. For the chapter 4, this chapter discuss how bad faith affects human freedom and self-understanding. Sartre explains that many individuals fail to recognize their freedom because they blame external circumstances or social rules for their actions. When this happens, people fall into bad faith and lose awareness of their true responsibility. The chapter also explains key ideas in Sartre philosophy, such as being in itself, being for itself, and in the principle that existence precedes essence. This concept show that human beings are not fixed like objects. Instead, people shape their identity through their choices and action. Sartre emphasized that freedom is an unavoidable part of human existence. He famously described human beings as condemned to be free. This means that every person must take responsibility for their decisions in life. True self-understanding happens when individuals recognize their freedom and accept responsibility for their choices. However, when people fall into the bad faith, they deceive themselves and avoid this responsibility. Because of this, they fail to fully understand themselves and authentically. And for the chapter 5, so this is the summary. Chapter 1 explain why this study matters. Today, many people follow trends, opinions, or beliefs without really thinking for themselves. Because of this, we often lose our sense of freedom and our understanding of who we truly are. This chapter introduced Sartre's idea that humans are free and responsible for their choices. It also presents the main question of study. How does Sartre concept of freedom help a person understand themselves, and how does bad faith stop authentic living? For the chapter 2 summary, focuses on Sartre's life and philosophical background. His experience with war, suffering, and social issues influenced his ideas about freedom and responsibility. The chapter also discusses his major works like being in nothingness. Lucia and existentialism is a humanism. Important concepts like existence precedes essence are introduced, meaning we are not born with a big purpose. Where we create meaning through our choices. Other philosophers like Kierkegaard, Heidegger, and users who has influenced Sartre are also mentioned. Chapter 3 explains how freedom leads to self-understanding. Sartre distinguished between being in itself, like objects that simply exist, and being for itself, which is human consciousness. Our free and able to change bad faith happens when deny our freedom and pretend we have no choice. Avoiding responsibility leads to an unauthentic life. True self-understanding comes when we accept our freedom, make choices honestly, and take responsibility for our actions. Chapter 4 looks at how bad faith affects our lives. Bad faith is self-deception. We hide behind excuses, rules, or circumstances to avoid the anxiety that comes with freedom. Living in bad faith weakens self-awareness and stops growth. Sartre gives the example of a waiter who moves about so precisely to customers that he seems like a machine. This shows bad faith, treating himself as an object instead of accepting his freedom. Being in itself is just passively. Accepting what happens while being for itself means acting responsibility to grow and improve. Accepting responsibility honestly helps us understand ourselves better. Finally, the study emphasized that freedom is central to human life. Self-understanding grows through responsible choices. Bad faith prevents authenticity, while embracing freedom leads to a meaningful life. For the philosophical insight, in my study, I found that Sartre ideas really help us understand freedom and what it means to know ourselves. Freedom is unavoidable. Sartre says that we are always free, whether we like it or not. Even if we try to avoid making choices or blame circumstances, we are still responsible for our actions. He calls this being condemned to be free. Freedom can feel heavy, but it also what makes life meaningful because it is up to us to decide who we are. Second, self-understanding comes from responsibility. We often try to define ourselves by labels or what society expects, but Sartre says real self-understanding comes from taking responsibility for our choices. Avoiding responsibility what he calls bad faith is easy, but it keeps us from truly knowing ourselves. Being honest about our decisions, even when it's uncomfortable, help us grow and become more authentic. Number three, bad faith, avoiding our own freedom. Bad faith happens when we ignore our freedom. Deep down, we know we can make choices, but responsibility feels heavy. So we make excuses or follow what others do. For example, many people today just go along with threads or popular opinions without thinking. It might feel easier, but it keeps us from being true ourselves to ourselves. Number four, anguish shows we are aware of freedom. Feeling anxiety or fear about choices is normal. For Sartre, this anguish is actual shows that we understand our freedom and the responsibility that comes with it. It means we are taking our choices seriously, not avoiding our responsibility. Number five, being true to ourselves, to live authentically, we need to face life honestly. We can control everything in our circumstances, but we can control how we respond. Owning our owning our freedom and taking responsibility instead of blaming fate or others, it what makes life meaningful. Last, for the recommendation, first, other researchers are encouraged to further study and clarify Jean Paul Sartre's understanding of freedom, specifically in comparison with other existentialist thinkers, while Sartre emphasized that existence comes before essence, and that freedom is always linked with responsibility. Philosophers like Martin Heidegger, Edmund Husserl, Soren Kierkegaard, and Simone de Beauvoir offer different perspectives on human freedom and existence. By highlighting these differences, future studies can deepen philosophical discussion and help people better appreciate what makes Sartre's idea unique and practically meaningful. Researchers could also take an interdisciplinary approach, connecting philosophy with fields like psychology to make the concept of freedom more relevant to modern life. Second, future research could look into the role of the other within the community. This means exploring how Sartre's idea of other people influence affects Claretian students, whether peer pressure leads them to deceive themselves, or whether the environment encourage them to live authentically. Third, researchers could examine how the findings of this study relate to the individual formation of seminarians. This includes exploring how guided decision making and spiritual accompaniment help them take responsibility for their own vocation and mission. Studies could also focus on how freedom combined with responsibility shapes individuals who serve with genuine commitment, and how authenticity becomes a lived experience and their spirituality and service. And finally, for the researcher, it is recommended to continue exploring the connection between existential philosophy and formation or spiritual life. Future studies might examine other themes in Sartre philosophy, such as anxiety, nothingness, or authenticity, and how these relate to faith, vocation, and community life. Continuing this research will not only contribute to academic knowledge, but also help bridge philosophical reflection with real life human experience. And last, I would like to conclude this presentation with a quote from Jean Paul Sartre. Freedom is what you do with what's been done to you. This means that even though we cannot choose our past or the events that happens in our lives, we still the freedom to decide how we respond. True freedom lies in taking responsibility for our choices and being honest with ourselves. and every step we take in life. Let us remember that freedom is not just a gift, it's also opportunity and responsibility to form ourselves and live authentically in every we choose to do. And that's all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Matero, and congratulations for that defense. Now I open the floor for some comments and suggestions from our critics. So the sequence of event, we will listen first from critic number one, which is Father Archie, and then after which I will give you my comments and feedback. And the thesis advisor is welcome to clarify certain points or respond to critics as the conversation is ongoing. So the floor is open to Father Archie.
Thank you, Sir Joseph. The explanation of existence precedes essence is technically sound. You correctly identify anguish as the realization of choice. However, the section on psychological point of view, page 44, relies on self-determination theory. Recommendation as a philosophy thesis ensure that psychological citation, Ryan and Deci, do not overshadow the ontological arguments. Keep the focus on Sartre's nothingness as the source of freedom. This chapter in the 4, Impact of Bad Faith, page 47 to 63, this chapter is the core of your teacher's critique. You successfully argue that self is a project. The analysis of constant becoming is your strongest academic contribution. In section B, that consciousness provides more detail on intentionality as a foundation of freedom. This will strengthen your answer to potential defense question regarding Heidegger and Husserl. The philosophy and conclusion and recommendation. Your philosophical insight section is well written and personal. The connection to Marion's spirituality in recommendations is a unique and valuable localized application. And here are my question on your substance of your thesis. What role does facticity play in limiting or defining one's freedom?
Facticity refers to the things we did not choose, such as our background, our past, or our situation in life. So, in my study, I explained that facticity does not remove freedom. Rather, it provides the situation where freedom operates us or you. Like for example, a person may be born into poverty. So that is not something they choose. That is their facticity. So, but according to Sartre, what matters is how that person responds to their situation. Some people may use it as an excuse and say, this is my life, this is me, so I cannot do anything about it. So which is what Sartre calls bad faith. But others recognize their situation and still choose to act and improve themselves. So meaning to say, facticity limits our situation, but not our freedom to choose. That is why in my study, I emphasize that authenticity comes from accepting our reality while continuing to make choices. And that's all po.
Thank you. In other words, our things that we have no control of, like our ethnicity, economic strata, we could still transcend or manifest to achieve through our own abilities, skills, things that we have control of, the freedom to transcend, to self-actualize, to manifest, and to get the goals that we have. Sartre argues we are condemned to be free. Explain how resulting anguish contribute to self-awareness.
So when Sartre says that we are condemned to be free, so it means that we cannot escape choosing. So in everything we do, we are responsible for our actions. This is where anguish comes in the feeling of anxiety or pressure because we realize that we are accountable for our choices. First, it seems it is negative, but in my study, I explained that it actually has a positive role. Anguish is important for us because it makes us aware that our choices matter. It forces us to reflect on who we truly are. And it helps us realize that we are not just following others. We are deciding for ourselves. For example, when a person faces a serious decision in life, so the pressure they feel is not a sign of weakness. It is um, it is actually a sign that they are becoming aware of their freedom. So in my points here is anguish is helps us become self-awareness because it leads us to us who am I in the choices I make.
Yes, we steer in ourselves because we are the one. Our decision has ripple effects on us and other people. We steer ourselves to research, to explore more based on facts, to go deeper before we make decision. Kumbaga, yung mga barahan natin, titingnan natin kasi may effect yun. So, we become more self-aware.
So
Our horizon widens kasi baka tayo magkamali. So, that's the good thing about knowing that we are responsible and being aware to do our best to get the best decision. Sartre suggests hell is other people. Does this mean self-understanding to freedom is a solitary journey or collaborative? Collaborative.
So Sartre's statement, hell is other people, is often misunderstood. It does not mean that other people are bad. And what he means is that other people can limit us specifically when allow their judgments to define who we are. So in my study, I explained the self-understanding is not purely solitary, but also not fully dependent on others. It is personal because we are the ones who choose and we are responsible for our identity. But it also relational because we encounter ourselves through others. So other people can help us see different aspects of who we are. So for me, self-understanding is a personal journey, but it happens in relation with others. And for me also, it is important that we remain free even in the presence of the others.
Thank you. And lastly, if a reader or in the context of seminary formation, how can you adapt your thesis perspective on how would the daily life, the vocation to priesthood, decision making to formation, or subscribing or yielding to formation, these things, the process of becoming, a future priest will either help us or change or would change our decision will continue. Yung thesis na yan, paano makakatulong? Sa
So,
seminar, sa seminar,
Sa seminaryo po.
becoming a priest.
So, if someone follows the perspective of my thesis, the biggest change I see is that they will stop just going with the go with the flow of life. They won't live on autopilot, just following what usual or what other people say. This means they start being more critical our own choices. Rather than simply doing what others want for them, they ask themselves, do I really want this, or I am just being pressured? Or for example, uh, imagine the seminarian sent into mission area or the province, no, because you are a professed member, no, and have taken vows of obedience. Yes, you are supposed to follow your superior, but having a vow doesn't mean you lose your freedom to choose. Uh, uh, Now the seminarian himself, ask yourself, do I want to this, or I'm just doing it because of my vows? So for me, you can stick in your own freedom. And another big change is taking responsibility. So a person who understands certain freedom will stop saying, I have no choice, or this is just my situation. For Sartre, that is bad faith. No. But instead, I have choice, even if it's hard, and I am responsible for what I choose. That's freedom. And this where John Paul Sartre idea of authenticity comes in. Person becomes more aware of whether they are being true themselves or hiding behind the bad faith. So avoiding responsibility through excuses. So when making decision, they won't act impulsively or just react. They be intentional and reflective, thinking before they act and accepting the consequences of their choices. And that's all po, Father.
Thank you, Sir Joseph.
Again, thank you, Father Archie. And again, congratulations to Mr. Matero. Siguro, I'll start my comments with the technical aspect of the thesis. I've noticed that you're using two primary sources. What's the reason for that? I mean, you're using two primary versions of one primary source, and that is existentialism is a humanism. You're using the edition you cited here, Marxist org, but at the same time, you're using the one by Carol, the one by the Yale version in 2007 by Carol Macomber. And you've only cited in your bibliography the version of Macomber. Why?
Again, sir, common Walter existentialism and humanism. Kaufman Walter po. And
Sorry? No, you're using there's a primary source. Existentialism is a humanism. Correct? And you're using two different versions of that same book. Is there any reason, or is this just a editorial
for
oversight?
me, This, ano po the editorial po for Kaufman Walter po, sir, is your question.
I'm not sure. You're not.
Yes.
The one you're using is Carol
Yes,
Macomber
yeah,
here,
yes.
not Kaufman.
But in I use this because actually this is not book. It's uh this the article that can I read. So
Well, you're not distinguishing here that it's an article. You're using the title. Look at footnote 1. Existentialism is a humanism. You are citing a page number, and it's coming from the Marxist.org. I'm familiar with this organization. This is a peer-reviewed organization naman.
Ah.
But the problem here is you're not consistent in using which version. Kasi these are two different versions.
yes.
Do you get my concern? How do you understand my concern? Look at your bibliography. Your bibliography, you only use the version of Carol. So which is which?
So uh ano? I think the
To simplify I don't know if I nakuha ko properly, the question of Professor Guillermo, just give him the reason why you're using two versions, no?
Yeah, of
Bakit
one.
dalawa instead of just one version of existentialism is a humanism? Kindly clarify, Professor Guillermo, for the use of that two versions.
I use the footnote of number 1 po, sir, ano po. Yung sa footnote po sa number 1. Tapos gumamit pa po ako ng ibang footnotes po.
No,
So,
kasi parang ganito, no? Tatagaluin ka na. For example, you use the Gospel of John, for example. Maraming translations, right? Okay, you can use different translations if you want to specify a point. Pero I'm curious, bakit dalawang translation na magkaiba yung ginamit mo? And hindi mo sinama yung unang translation, which is you noted in footnote 1 in your bibliography. So is this something that you intended, or is this just a oversight na when in your editing hindi mo na napansin na doble yung nakuha mo source?
yes, sir. So
Yes, sir. What?
it is of 10 din po.
I'm sorry?
Actually, sir, this number 1 of my footnote is I read this to kumbaga parang summary po na pinagkuhaan ko po nung mismong ipo-footnote ko po sa akin pong number 1. Kumbaga ayun po yung pinaka-summary na kinuhaan ko po. Kaya po
But according to how you wrote it, this is a direct quotation. So this is not a summary. Tignan mo yung page 2 mo. It's a direct quotation. So it's not a summary. And you're using the author John Paul Sartre. So it's you're basically telling us in footnote 1 that John Paul Sartre said this.
Or are you trying to say to Professor Guillermo that the second version of that translation of
Carol.
existentialism is an abridged version? Is that what you are trying to
Yes. Yes
Tell
po.
Professor Guillermo.
It's a bridge. A bridge po, sir. Ah,
Or sure,
So why did you not include it in your bibliography?
I think it's I forgot to
Okay.
ano sir.
So if I may make a recommendation, please note of the recommendation. Choose one version kasi this is your primary source. No? This is your primary source. So you're not doing a thesis comparing different translation. You're just talking about the concept. So if I may, choose the latest translation that you have access to, which is the 2007 edition, which is kasama sa bibliography. And especially because any sources from Marxist.org were never used in the rest of your study. So that's my one recommendation. Another concern that I have is in your footnote number 9. Please turn to footnote number 9. You're defining terms, but you're using secondary sources. Am I correct in
Yes,
this one?
Number 9.
The problem here is that your secondary sources are also not really respected sources, not academic sources. Consider, for example, your website, Zen and Pi. That's not a academic source. It's a a philosophy enthusiast. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying that for a thesis, I would recommend you
Remove po.
remove that or find a more peer-reviewed source. For example, a expert of SART. Another is footnote 10. Similar problem here is that you did not mention the source in your bibliography. Wala siya sa bibliography mo. Or rather, footnote 9 and footnote 10 parehong wala sa bibliography. Are there two different versions ba when you printed this or hindi mo na-update yung bibliography mo?
Siguro sir, nakalimutan ko. I forgot this footnote to put in my bibliography.
Okay, so please make sure. So number 9, I'm not confident with Lisa Blair because the source, when I check the website, parang hindi siya, it's a philosophy enthusiast website. So another issue I have is please double check the style, your footnoting style. For example, footnote 29, you already mentioned being nothingness, a phenomenological essay on ontology. And then footnote 30, inulit mo yung buong title, which is the suggested, what do you think is the suggested?
Ibid po.
Ibid na, no? Kasi you're just writing again. Also, I've noticed that a lot of your primary sources, you always include the website kung saan mo kinuha.
Yes.
I don't recommend that. If you already have the access to the bibliographical details, consider it as a book na.
Book. Ah.
Kasi if I remember correctly, yung rules Chicago Manual, which is very close. Are we using Turabian ba here? Turabian.
Yes po.
Turabian, which is very close. We only reserve online sources for actual walang no physical copies. But if you find an ebook, it is considered as if it is a physical copy because it's simply a facsimile nung physical book. So, in order to streamline your bibliography, and pangit rin kasi tignan kasi parang you already indicated all of your editorial sources and publish, yung translator, tapos biglang may website. So, it's not the usual practice sa academic writing. Then, I also recommend in the main text, every time you mention the title, you always italicize the titles. Kasi how do you call this? They are not used as everyday words. Para mabilis mabasa ng reader or future readers na, you're already mentioning another title. Now, here's some of my criticism in the meat of the text. The whole study aims to argue that self-understanding can achieve freedom. However, most of your chapters are you're just positioning SART in relationship to other existentialists and phenomenologists. For example, in chapter 2, you just talk about other existentialists and other phenomenologies. So much so na it feels that you're repeating some sections. So for example, in page 16, you've already talked about Heidegger, Husserl, and Kierkegaard. Then inulit mo sila ulit sa 18, 19, 20. And it does not feel that you are really establishing what Sartre is arguing. Moreover, I would suggest that you revisit again. You're using three primary texts kay Sartre, right? And I'm curious, why these three texts? There are a lot of texts in between Sartre that is also representative of his understanding of freedom. So, and moreover, all of them are not books, correct? So, Nausea is what?
It's a book po. Book po. No, because
Is it primarily a book? It's a play. Play siya muna. Teatro siya. Then after that, existentialism and humanism.
The book po.
Is it a book?
Yes.
No, it started as a lecture.
Okay.
Then, bigyan natin na yung actual na book niya. So I would
okay.
suggest that since you want to explore the idea of self-understanding, you arrange them in such a way that it builds up again and again his theory of freedom. And Father Arch already mentioned yung idea niya of nothingness was never really explored in depth. In chapter 2 is something that you should have explored in depth, not compare him to other philosophers, because his work is already a reaction to those philosophers. I would suggest na, and I'm curious, why these three texts?
What, sir?
Why these three works na associated with him? How does it help your aim in chapter 2 that you want to discuss freedom?
Because for Sartre, I think this the foundational of the concept of freedom of Jean-Paul Sartre, that he works of his he works this concept. So for me, this is a foundational po ng concept of freedom.
Okay, that's good to hear. Now, my problem here is that these three texts is just a summary. Chapter 2 should, sir, since you're claiming in chapter 2, you're discussing about freedom and self-understanding. I would want you to expand in primary sources. Kasi ang nangyayari dito, you are just quoting little parts of the text. And you're just basically telling us you're just basically telling us yung parang summary ng mga arguments instead of giving us a direct quotation and then building on that direct quotation. Usually, of course, a general rule of thumb is when you quote something, that mas mahaba yung explanation mo dun sa quotation. And that's something that I think in your revision, you should explore in expanding. So yeah, yun lang naman yung pinaka ano ko. Parang at least in chapter 2 is your weakest because you devoted most of your energy discussing what Sartre is to other philosophers when you are at this point claiming that you want to discuss freedom. And yun yung pinaka, I think, the weakest in the whole text. Then again, please review again yung technical parts that I've mentioned. And yeah, so that's it. So any other comments?
Oh, sir. Wala na po.
akin po.
So thank you very much for the panelists. So after the question and answer, may we ask the on-site participant, like except for the dean, the thesis coordinator and advisor, to leave the room as we deliberate. Then we will call your attention to return to communicate our final decision on the defense of Mr. Matera. Hello, Mr. Matero. I'm on behalf of the panel. I have uh, the 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 honor to tell you the result of our deliberation. We have approved your thesis, but it will come with major revisions, specifically with, as I mentioned in my comments, chapter 2. I think the major weakness there was your discussion on freedom is really thin and really not engaging with the text that you're using, the primary text that you're using. So we suggest that you remove the engagement with the other existentialists because they're important, but they are not they are dragging down the conversation, and engage more with the primary text. We also suggest that you review again the editing style. So I would recommend that you look for an editor to double check your citation style and your I think even the table of contents, kasi there are also comments with the table of contents. Now, with that in mind, according to the policy, as a major revision, you are given 3 weeks to revise all the concerns of the panel and to submit it again for us for our review. And however, a failure to submit revisions on time will result in an incomplete grade, which must be resolved in the following semester. So this is and a failure to complete this INC grade within the required time frame will result in a fail. So I would strongly recommend that in the Lenten season, this will be part of your spiritual journey, so you can be free. At any rate, are there any comments or suggestions or reactions?
Okay. I think also I also just noticed that there's a need to check your outline, because when I look at the table of contents, like for example, chapter 2, you have letter A, introduction, and then you have all capital letters, and it has no letter. But when I check inside, it's letter B. So please look into that, okay? And maybe to check if is it really necessary. What is the difference of making all capital letters and others are not? I think just to be consistent, maybe better don't make it all capital letters. No, just like any other titles of every part. And also, I also noticed that you have you have here on page 3, said you are going, the researcher's thoughts revolve around the following questions. You have then 3 questions, but I don't see what really is your main problem. For me, this looks like 3 sub questions, but where is the main problem here? Or maybe one of this is the main problem. Okay, so just to clarify that, no? That's all. Maybe I just, because I was looking at your thesis statement, you clearly put here your answer to your main problem, but I don't see how your main problem is articulated as a question. But you have the answer. I see your answer here in the thesis statement, but it's not clear what was your main question. You have your sub-questions, but the main question was not articulated. Okay, so that's part of what we would like to do with you. And maybe, I'm not sure, I will consult with Dr. Lambino regarding this. In the bibliography, is it necessary to put all of this link? All the links here? Yeah, I think it's a book, no? Yes. Only the no need for the HTTP, not like that, no? Okay, but I will talk to Dr. Lambin about this also, because it was also commented by Father Kenneth yesterday, no? Not to include the link. Okay, no? I will talk to Dr. Lambin about this. Okay, that's all. Okay, let's have picture taking. Mahaba-haba. Sino ang ano? Dito. Siya na una ng mga ganun tanong ka.
Sino lang magbabasa? Si ano pa rin? Si Sir Joseph pa rin. Thank you. Okay. Reverend Consider the Asti, the prayer.
Okay.
We can start once. Pagkabalik lang ni Sir Joe. In few minutes. Ay, pala bukas. Online, ano? Kaya napasabit ako nga ano. Pero tuloy ang TV. Tuloy? Ay, puro na ako pwede. Dalawang galit siya. Tapos okay na si Sir Ben. Si third place. Yeah, sa problema. Yung sa Friday, di ba, tuloy pa yun na tuloy. Oh. Yes.